Welcome to the latest episode of the M6P versus the MCU. We're going to be talking Secret Invasion Episode 1 tonight. I'm Jared, we got Darrin, we got Joe, and we got Jonathan, all the J's with a D. And we're going to have a good conversation tonight all about Secret Invasion and the Skrulls. Darrin, take us off, man.
Wow, where to begin? We've all been waiting for this. The last MCU property that we saw that actually was kind of like grounded on the human level was Hawkeye. Everything else has kind of been off in these different, exploring the different MCU stuff that they're looking to explore. Fine. I actually went into this very optimistic. Jared, you actually posted something asking people what their expectations or something along that lines were on the M6P Facebook page about for Secret Invasion. And I was actually quite shocked because it was, it was on the lower side of the spectrum for the most part. I don't know if that's because people are just kind of MCU'd out on, the current phases or whatnot. But I had high expectations, and I was a little let down. There's a lot of things I liked about it, but I had some expectations of what I thought it was going to be, and it didn't turn out to be that. It was still done well. It's kind of cool to see Marvel's version of Jack Ryan, just Samuel L. Jackson. Spoiler alert. There's a lot of good things. Initially off the bat, I just wasn't like, This is the first episode. We'll see how it goes. All right. Random initial first thoughts. Go.
Yeah, it was good. It was fun. It was okay. It was not Winter Soldier, okay? And I think I was going into it thinking, all right, we're gonna get some Winter Soldier, but for TV. So that was maybe my own thing. Coming off the last Disney Plus show of She-Hulk, I really thought it could be anything would be better. So I'm definitely impressed by that because I despised She-Hulk. But movie-wise, yeah, we're coming off Guardians. That was the last kind of MCU thing, and that was up in space, like Darrin said. It's not very grounded. Hawkeye was kind of like the last grounded thing that we got, and this is very grounded. There was very little comedy in this, which I appreciated. Sometimes the MCU stuff just goes so silly. I mean, let's talk Thor 4. Ooh,
Yes.
But everything has to be funny all the time. And this was not like the funniest thing for me in this episode was when Nick Fury rested his head on Talos. Like Nick Fury wouldn't do that. That's weird.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that.
We'll get to that.
And then I'm like, maybe that wasn't Nick Fury. But either way, the episode was middle ground for me. I wasn't super excited at the end, and I wasn't disappointed in what it was. I'm keeping my mind open for the next 5 episodes.
It was shocking that they killed Colby Smulders.
Yeah.
Very unexpected. But also, the more I think about that, the more I'm like, okay, well, she's probably, getting close to out of her acting prime because she's around her 40s, Jared, her 40s. No, I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, I mean, there's only so long you can have an actor signed up in the MCU. She's been with us since 2012, so it wasn't exactly a crazy shocker for me. But it did come out of left field. I will say that was, it's pretty wild. I kind of feel like I'm echoing a lot of your sentiments when it comes to, my expectations were probably lower than you guys. I think that's one thing that maybe made me like it a little more than you guys, but I didn't love it by any means. And it's definitely not Winter Soldier, but it is a breath of fresh air to get a Marvel project, like you said, Jared, where they don't feel the need to make a joke every 2 minutes, even in moments where everything's supposed to be serious. It's not your typical cookie cutter MCU formula, which is a breath of fresh air, honestly.
Yeah. I think this is like Marvel's grown up movie, like a lot, or not movie, but event, because a lot of the things that happen in this, these are things that you don't normally see. I mean, we have 3 different people get shot in this, first episode. You don't really see that a whole lot like in a Marvel picture. So I feel like this is setting something up for like the rest of this event to be more adult than what we have seen from other, MCU pictures. I also look at this, if you're a comic book fan, and you're expecting Secret Invasion 2008, 2009, this is not it. I know they just
Yeah.
did a new Secret Invasion event comic book. I think started in November of 2022. This is more, it seems like it's more along that storyline. So if you're coming thinking this is going to be some big mass superhero event, it doesn't seem like it's going to be that. Hopefully by the end of this, we're going to get some big twist that's going to set things off for the rest of Phase 5. But right now, like with this, this episode, it really, there should have been a prologue to this first episode. There was just so much in here that wasn't explained, and like there were so many things that happened off screen that we didn't know about. Soren died off screen. We had, I mean, the whole thing with Nick Fury, like his whole after the blip is more or less all off screen. We see like what 10 seconds of him after Far From Home, then that's really all we've seen so far. I wish they would have built more. I mean, we're supposed to feel attached to these characters in this moment and feel a threat from this, Gavrik and things like that, but they don't do enough in this first episode to make you feel all of that yet. So hopefully they do that in the second episode, but right now they haven't done that yet.
I don't know if you guys watch the Marvel Legends shows on Disney Plus.
You took it out of my mouth, Jonathan.
I was just gonna say they do a good job of kind of serving as a little mini prequel, but not everyone knows that. I mean, we're pretty diehard fans, and even you didn't know about that. So, I mean, maybe Marvel can do a better job of advertising that. Hey, if you want to get caught up, check this out. But yeah.
I just want to echo some of Joe's sentiments too, comparing the comic from this. The comic. So like, this is a spy thriller. I don't think anybody would doubt that at this point, based off the first episode. But and so this one kind of like focuses on like Fury figuring out the early stages of the Skrulls and invading and stuff. And this was discussed in the comics prior to the actual Secret Invasion comic. Now, the Secret Invasion comic was more about the absolute, like, it's just war. Skrulls have invaded, it's war now. And they're still trying to figure out who's who. That's the underlying theme of both of these, which is cool. And they've kind of kept, but like, I mean, they're using the same name and everything, Secret Invasion. I get it. Like, and I knew they were going to do that going into this. Like, it's not going to be like the comics, obviously, because we've all seen the trailers and none of the other superheroes are in it. I have high hopes for, the whole spy thriller angle that Nick Fury is always 3 steps ahead. And isn't it funny that in this episode, like that chess game with him and Maria Hill, because remember, Maria died at the end. When she died, I was instantly like, okay, Marvel's going to be, they made it very blatantly clear, like who the Skrulls were in this episode. So, man, finding out who the Skrulls are, that's going to be tough. I think Fury or Maria Hill, one of them is or was a Skrull. I just think that. And that's my early prediction for how the series goes. And now on to something random. So this is Secret Invasion, right? There's Skrulls and nobody wants anybody to know. The Skrulls even don't want people to know they're here and all that. So the very first scene, it was cool. The Skrull gets smoked on the street and they just leave him there, a Skrull body. So hold on, later on, Talos, he's having his big fight scene, and then Fury has to come in and shoot the Skrull and the artsy fartsy Skrull, and they just leave his body there too. Is nobody not noticing these alien bodies laying? Look, that might be a nitpick. Just like you could have fixed. Come on, Marvel. Like, all right.
There's a Skrull version of Damage Control that comes around and picks up all the Skrull bodies. Michael,
yeah, we haven't seen yet.
Episode 5.
I'm sure they'll let us know about it in a future show or movie down the road to fix this. But cool.
Yeah, maybe. I think speaking of that beginning part with Martin Freeman when he died, like oh, we getting started off hot. Like anybody's gonna be a Skrull. I definitely thought that Everett Ross was gonna be like that, and Colby Smulders, that they would be these continuous characters. And like, oh, we might not see Everett Ross the rest of this. We might, but we might not see him. And Maria's dead, so is like Nick Fury and Talos. Are they this everybody? And then I guess Daenerys, is it like the three of them? Are they the main characters?
And Talos might actually be the bad scroll if you think about it. He's
Possibly.
yeah.
And I
Think
just
about that.
assumed
He
that
could be the most. I bet Talos had something to do with his wife's death more than. Why else would Emilia Clarke be playing his daughter? Come on.
And I just assumed that that wasn't actually Everett Ross, but you guys kind of got the impression that that was him all along, that he was always a screw.
No,
No.
I didn't get
okay.
that.
Okay.
I didn't.
I mean,
get
I
that.
figured they were gonna have to take somebody that we know out early
Yeah.
to give you that idea that, oh, anybody can be a scroll. I thought it was gonna be somebody a little bit bigger than Everett Ross, but I mean, it worked all the same. I feel like by the end of this, we're gonna see. I feel like we're gonna get flashbacks to other movies and like, oh, that was a scroll. The whole time we were seeing this and like we were complaining about that character. Oh, that was a scroll the whole time. Like I
Peter
think
Quill was a scroll when he hit Thanos with the.
this might be, Disney's chance to, retcon all this stuff. A lot of the mistakes that they've made and everybody's complained about. This can be like, oh, that was a scroll. Don't worry about them. Like, don't worry about that part anymore.
All
That's
of the
gonna take a
Eternals.
lot of scrolls.
All the Eternals were all Skrulls. Just kidding, guys. You don't have to watch that movie.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Flash,
wow.
he was a Skrull. other
But then
other properties.
There is so much like that was my biggest thing about this is like, if you haven't seen really Captain Marvel, you're probably lost through a lot of all of this.
Yeah.
And then there's like 30 years that went on that we have no clue of what really happened between Nick Fury and then, the Skrulls and, Captain Marvel. Like, she made this big promise, like that all fell apart. Like, I really hope they don't just try to like brush that aside and hope we don't like remember that stuff, because they need to build this. They need to make us feel like this is an important story. But it feels like it's a little forced right now.
Yeah, Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Yeah, and some of the, we're gonna sit through a series like who's a scroll and everything. I get it, but so like back to Marvel being a little bit sloppy, especially in this one already. It seems like so like you put out the trailer for Miss Marvels. So I mean, obviously, Nick Fury doesn't die. Maybe that's not Nick Fury in this show, and like he's still up in Saber the whole time. But so Nick Fury, one way or the other, he doesn't die because he's in Miss Marvels. Also, you bring in Dermot Mulroney to play a very well-known character actor to play the president of the United States next to Rhodey, the new chief of defense or whatever. And meanwhile, Marvel, you've already said who the new president's going to be. You can't see it from here. There's a Red Hulk. Oh, yeah. So Harrison Ford's going to be the president in the next Marvel movie. So does that mean pretty much Dermot Mulroney's character, a very great character actor that Marvel brought in for a reason, is probably a Skrull? That's my guess.
Could be a Skrull, but could be, election time. I would love to see a long election process movie. That would be wonderful. Just to drag on for 22 months. It would just be wonderful.
I would rather have a Disney Plus show about that than Agatha.
Amen.
Personally.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but you bring up a great point, because this whole show is all about who is it, who, kind of like Winter Soldier, Hydra or Shield. We don't really know. So is the president a Skrull? Is that even really Rhodey? Is he going to be infiltrating from the White House? And because it all falls apart from there, is that what leads us to Thunderbolts and we get the Red Hulk? Is that what happens? Who knows? We got a lot of episodes still. We got 5 more episodes that we already got all these questions. We're gonna have some more too.
Yeah, I think this first episode definitely, brought up a whole lot more questions than it ever answered about what happened, after Captain Marvel, and what Nick Fury, what he was up to after the blip and all that. But I enjoyed, you don't really see Samuel L. Jackson now like leading roles like this at this age. So it was nice to see, especially in the Nick Fury role, like taking the lead, because he really hasn't had that. And it's, I think by the end of it, like he's definitely going to stand out, as, when we talk about MCU characters, like one of the tops after this series, I believe.
And
It's
it
really
kind of goes
clear.
to show for Jonathan that there is life after 40.
It is. Yes.
Be good.
No, it's really clear though that they're trying to make it blatantly obvious that everyone's questioning Nick Fury and his ability to be a good super spy or whatever the case may be. It feels like they're kind of banging us over the head with that theme throughout this episode. But yeah, I mean, it is good to see him in that spot. Sam Jackson's a great actor, always has been. And we have a pretty good cast here too with Emilia Clarke. You were talking about the character actor, the president. I don't even know about that guy, but that's another great actor. Then you have
You've never heard of Dermot Mulroney?
Never have.
He's just a kid there, and he's just a youngin'. He doesn't.
Oh man.
Well, but yeah, I mean, on top of that, Colby Smulders, I think she's a good actress too. So yeah, I mean, it's exciting, and there's only so much that you can tell from the first episode. I mean, this can go way up and this can go way down.
Yeah.
Only time will tell.
And I think the MI6 agent, was that Olivia Colman is the actress? That's
correct.
Like, I'm looking forward to more of her. I feel like she brings a little uneasiness to like a lot of scenes, and she's an amazing actress. So I feel like in the next couple episodes, like we're gonna see more of her, and she is gonna be like more intense than we. She seems to stand toe to toe with Nick Fury in her scenes, so she's definitely somebody that shouldn't be messed with. I kind of think she might be a Skrull the way she's been acting, especially the way Nick Fury was kind of coming at her with some stuff. She served him the vodka, and he's a bourbon guy, and so I think he's kind of trying to use his Skrull expertise to really pick out who is with him and who's against him.
Yeah.
So that whole scene there with Sonya. Also, I believe she's a granddaughter of one of the Howling Commandos. I might be wrong, but yeah, I think I'm pretty right. But anyway, that whole scene, the whole like dialogue between them from a cinematic standpoint, that was great. Nick Fury and her, because they're both trying to gauge who's the Skrull. And I like it when Fury's looking at the wall of clocks, but all the hands are different.
Yeah,
the faces are all different of the clock, just like the Skrulls. And then he's mentioning, oh well, I actually like bourbon. They're building up that tension, aren't they? And then Fury puts a little camera thingy mabob on the owl of the eye of the owl, the most wisest bird out there. But lots of little good stuff going on in there. That whole dialogue, and Coleman was an Academy. She won an Academy Award, correct? Does anybody know this offhand? I think she did.
Well, I know she was on The Crown. The Crown is like her big thing. She was the Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, so it was an Emmy. It was an Emmy.
So, but I know her from Thomas the Train, because she was the voice for Thomas the Train, like not Thomas the Train, but she was a voice on Thomas the Train for like a decade before she became anything else. So
yeah,
having a kid that's now 17, I remember her from those things. So it's great to see her doing more.
I'm sorry. No, as a father of two toddlers, whenever I hear a British lady of her age talk, I instantly think Peppa Pig. So that's the dialogue I heard was Sam Jackson versus Peppa Pig.
I'm interested in her role. Where's she gonna go? What's she gonna do? I'm intrigued. I'm very much intrigued, because where does she lie in all this? That her scene, while she acted it very well, it just seemed like, what is this for me when I was watching it through? But obviously it's a placeholder to kind of get you ready, because she's going to do something else. I did have a question about her scene when Fury is spying on her, and you're able to see through the holographic image she's talking to somebody. Do we know who she's talking to?
Yeah, no, I don't.
I mean, it looked like the president. It looked like Dermot Mulroney, like in a little bit of a.
Well, there we go.
But like, I mean, I couldn't be for sure, because like the hair kind of looked lighter, and like it looked a little bit different. But
yeah, I thought he had like a red beard, so I thought maybe it's Banshee. Maybe they're going to bring Banshee into the episode, and I'll be really happy. This is
wishful thinking. How long has it been since we've been saying, oh, maybe the X-Men are going to pop up in this episode? Maybe the X-Men are going to pop up in Miss Marvel. We've been saying that since back in the
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, man. I'm not even to the X-Men yet. I'm still waiting on Mephisto.
There you go.
Right.
Even better.
Well, so the Skrull, the bad Skrulls or whatever, they very much reminded me of Carly and the Flag Smashers. Did anybody else get that? Because I
Mhm.
The
despised
whole first
Carly and the
episode did.
Flag Smashers. That was one of my top 5 worst MCU villains ever, and I was getting that feel. I was just waiting for like a Skrull Carly to come around the side, and they're all done.
Well, I don't think that they were just terrible. Like they weren't, what do you call the dark elves terrible? They were just bland. They were so mediocre. But a lot of people don't like the Flag Smashers, so I guess that seems to be a big problem for a lot of folks with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that right now that there's only so much that we can, judge this show. I mean, we only have such a small piece to go off of.
Right.
All right. So, all right, let's get back. Okay. Yeah. Flag Smasher villain. Didn't care about her. On this one. Okay. So, Gravik. This guy, okay. I left Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with reinvigorated hope, even though James Gunn is leaving, because they finally, a Marvel movie or property, finally did a good villain again. The Marvel villain was good in that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So is Gravik really going to be the main villain of the show, you think? Because if so,
Well, you already said no.
I was like, look, when I go into a comic, I'm looking to see the superheroes the same way, or the villain the same way I see the superheroes. Well, there's not many in this one. The villains, Gravik, I was just like, oh man, I need a really menacing villain. This is like Secret Invasion. I need somebody who's scary and then actually talks as an actor. So that's where I'm at with that one.
Yeah, that's where I believe they should have did like a whole other episode before this one, kind of like building up some of these characters and making you fear them or trust them or care about them. Gravik, we don't have. I mean, he barely said anything. I mean, his most menacing thing is after he shot Agent Hill and just like him smiling. It really wasn't even that actor. It was him smiling as Nick Fury. Really was the most menacing scene. So it would have been nice if they would have fleshed that character out a little bit more and made you really fear him. You don't really get any sort of you could have easily done a torture scene at that one scene where you had his little henchman do it. Have him come down there and scare some people. I think they missed an opportunity to make him more of a threat.
Yeah, I think they probably are just banking on, well, he killed Maria Hill, so you guys take him serious now. Okay, here we go.
but then that's a problem. If you've never watched, because when I look at this movie, this is a movie where Disney's trying to appeal to non-Marvel comic book fans, non-MCU fans, because this is really a spy thriller, Jack Ryan, the Tom Clancy fans. This is where you can go to your grandfather and say hey, come and watch this movie, and you might kind of dig it, you might think it's weird, but you might enjoy it because it's a spy movie. But they don't really, kind of lost my train of thought, but they don't do enough to get the casual fan to really care about these characters either. We know Secret Invasion, we know the story, so we're sort of invested, but a casual viewer be yeah, this is kind of cool, but they didn't really develop these characters much for me. So I think there's gonna be a big drop in viewership after this first episode. Ooh. I bet it gets cut in half.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Marvel Legends, like Jonathan was saying at the beginning,
those help.
They're just so I watched a couple with Jennifer, so because I knew that she was going to forget Talos, and she was going to forget Martin Freeman. I even forgot Everett Ross.
Yeah,
and we watched them, and she's like, I didn't remember a thing from Captain Marvel. It's it's best to be forgotten, babe. And then she said, I've never seen that guy, that white guy before. He was in Civil War. He was in Wakanda. I'm like, I know. That's why we had to watch these. So outside of people knowing, oh, Samuel L. Jackson is Nick Fury, I think those Marvel Legends, those should like you click Secret Invasion to watch it, and it says you need to watch
Recap.
these 15 minutes first
Right.
before you're even allowed, or you have to take a trivia contest sponsored by the M6P in order to bypass this. I think that's what they should
That's fair.
do.
Sign off on that.
Yeah, I'll agree. I'll kind of second that because my wife, even me, I've never read Secret Invasion in the books, so I never have.
No, you should though. It's good. You'd like it.
It's as someone who I would consider myself when it comes to the films, like I know a lot about the MCU,
Right.
but when it comes to the books, I'm not an expert by any means. So yeah, I kind of felt a little lost at times. I feel like I need to go back and rewatch the first episode to maybe try to catch some of the details I missed. The same with my wife, but for the most part, I feel like we picked up on things. Like I had to point out, I was trying to help her. I was being the Marvel legend to my wife during this episode. I was like, "Hey, remember those thingies from Captain Marvel? They could read your thoughts with that, And they had at one point they had Carol Danvers in that, but yeah, I think it would certainly help for sure.
Yeah, I watched the
All right.
episode this morning right when I got up, and then we watched it again tonight. And I tell you, watching it a second time, like, oh, I caught so many other things that it was also 5:30 in the morning, so that could have been it. But
So, a lot of good stuff there. To get off to just when it comes to the scrolls, what we know in the comics, and how they've been handling them, not only in this property, but Ms. Marvel, because that's really the first two places. I mean, sure, they came in some end credit scenes in a couple of movies, but like, has the MCU handled the scrolls the way that you would have liked them to handle them? For me, I guess I still have a few more episodes of this new show to watch and check out because so far, no. And that's just, like, man, the scrolls are so iconic in Marvel, and I don't think they've been done justice in the MCU.
Yeah. As
So
a
far.
casual, I feel like they were way more of a, villainous bunch in the comics, right?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
I just
yeah.
wonder if like Disney like pivoted after Captain Marvel. Like maybe they thought they were going to do more. I mean, Secret Invasion could have been done maybe a few years earlier, possibly.
Yeah.
But maybe they took the backlash from Captain Marvel and be like, okay, people don't care about scrolls then, so let's not have them anymore. Because even the little teases that we get, we love. Like, I mean, at the end of Far From Home, like that was like, that was a good tease. Like, that made us like, oh, this is what's going on now. Like, I mean, that was like our first glimpse of like, things after the blip. So that was like a nice, like good tease. And then now you don't do anything. And now they're trying to convince us that there's this big scroll threat, even though like nobody in the MCU knows about it right now. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like they didn't think there was money in the scrolls, so they just kind of forgot about it.
yeah, I remember when the Skrulls were introduced in Captain Marvel, there was a lot of backlash because they were like, the Skrulls are villains. They're not characters that you sympathize with. And everybody left Captain Marvel like, oh, poor Skrulls, their house got destroyed. Well, no, in the comics, like they were just as guilty fighting with the Kree, and they messed around and found out, and they lost their house, So, and then they're just these terrible people. So to make them these sympathetic, kind of like Thanos, but that's a whole other thing. But to make the Skrulls sympathetic, I think Disney then did have to pivot and be like, all right, how can we turn this back to villain? Oh, they believe that Nick Fury and Captain Marvel were going to get them a house. They didn't get them a house. So now the Skrulls are like, well, I'm just going to take your house then. Great.
Yeah.
They're back as villains. Good job. I'll give Disney that pivot if that's what they did. I'll take it.
A home for their own skin. Oh, wow. So we've covered a lot very quickly. I think we're all on the same page about this show. A little bit of it's like a bit of a letdown, and the rest of it's like, well, we still got to wait and see, which is cool. Got to keep an open mind,
Right.
Is there any things? Hold on, one thing I want to talk about, real specific. So, right towards the end, building up to the dirty bomb explosion and the Marie Hill die-in. You guys remember those old porcelain wood or yeah, dolls that your grandma had, or maybe
The Russian
I don't know.
dolls, the stackers.
Yeah, and it had a smaller one in each one.
The nesting doll.
That
Yeah, nesting dolls.
they ship. What is it called?
Nesting. The
The
nesting eggs.
nesting dolls in this episode are very integral to the selling the cinematography. They show up at the end, and then when Fury's chasing around Gravik, and he goes from the little girl to a bigger scroll or a bigger and to a bigger one. Meanwhile, in this whole big festival, they've got the nesting dolls. I really like, so there's a lot of stuff tied in with like how the cinematography and just the filming was done with this first episode. That's pretty good. And that I will give them kudos for it. The ending with the nesting dolls sounds pretty cool. And the clocks and the faces.
I think Jonathan's going to go back and rewatch and look for that.
So, a big controversy right now is the intro. What does everybody have to think about the intro? Because AI, the creative team that does a lot of their special effects use an AI tool to create that intro. So there's been a lot of, disruption about that, especially with the writer strike that's going on and how creative talent's not being, recognized, especially when they're doing something like this. I liked the intro. Like, I thought it looked really cool. I don't think they just simply like typed a few words in and it just created that. Like, I think there's more work to it, but I feel like that's going to overshadow at least this first episode is like them talking about this little AI created intro.
Are you talking about like the music and the opening credits?
Yeah,
That
with
was all AI.
yeah, where it's all morphing and shifting and stuff like that.
I thought that was really cool.
I mean,
I
it
did
looked
too.
really cool. But there's a lot of people upset that they used an AI tool to create that. So
Wow.
they're like, you're discounting, real artists and things like that.
Well, I use the self-checkout at Walmart. Like, I mean, I guess that's AI, right? Like, did I take a job from somebody that could have made me stand in line and be real rude to me for an hour? Or did I just bag it myself? I see both sides. I really do see both sides. I think the best way to fix that is to stop paying these actors like 30 million to do
Yes.
one movie. Get all no names, because the no names will work forever. They'll do a movie for like $150,000, spread that money out to all the creatives, and we're good to go. We're totally fine.
And the
Yeah.
studios are
us-
very
Work
greedy
for
too.
us for nothing, or we hire the AI.
Yeah, the studios are very greedy too. They keep a lot more than they should.
That's probably a topic for another time, but I'm with you, Joe.
Just
Like,
ask Sony.
I think the AI thing could probably be a whole show itself.
Definitely.
Oh, cool. Well, anything, Jonathan? Do you have anything you'd like to point out?
I'm good, man.
Cool.
Do you want me to give it a rating? The episode a rating?
Oh yeah, we got to do a rating. All right, Jonathan, what's your rating?
6.5.
He's right on the money. He didn't hesitate. He's an honest man.
I would also go with 6.5. That's exactly what I was going to go with.
I guess I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
go with the 6, just so I don't stay with the 6.5 crowd.
And
I'll go with
Darrin,
the 6 too. All right, just so we're all floating around on the even. Yeah. All right. Cool.
So now we got some trivia. Okay, the time's about.
Yeah, I
wasn't
saw
sure,
that. We were
Jared.
getting
I
less than a
wasn't
minute
sure.
there.
You what?
I saw that we were getting
sure.
close.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay, I put it in the chat, but I was like, I don't know if they can see the chat or not.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right.
I gotta. This episode has to download, and then I'll send you a link. We're gonna get started with some Marvel trivia. We've got this really sweet Marvel game here, and it was produced in 2002, 2003. So the trivia is from about 1939 to around 2000. So some of these questions, the answers might be different today because there's been 23 more years of continuity, but the guys are going to do their absolute best. First person to score 15 points wins. Each question is tiered. Questions 1 is 1 point, and then 5 is obviously 5 points. we go around alphabetically. So Darrin, being the only D in the group, you get to pick first, man.
Wow, we haven't played this in a while.
This is
So,
my first
it's
time.
customary.
First time right here.
Oh,
This is your
wow,
first
yeah,
time, Joe.
First time.
Wait, actually, Jonathan, how many times have you actually completed and competed in the M6P trivia?
So I actually hold the record for the most wins. I think I'm currently sitting at
All out of this
4
crowd.
wins. No, I think I've never won actually, but I've been on this at least 3 times, maybe 4.
Yeah, I've been on a bunch.
All right, Darrin, what number would you like to choose?
3.
3. All right, 3. Question number 3. What animal does Kazar have for a pet?
Saber-tooth tiger?
Saber-tooth tiger. Very good. 3 points for Darrin. You also, Joe, you have to keep your own score. Okay.
Oh,
It's okay to do it too.
You could probably do it in your head. You probably can. I just can't.
it's gonna be like
keep
5
track
or
of
something
all
by the end of this. So
All right. So JON comes before JOS. One of you next time when you play, you'll have to shorten to just Joe.
Give me a 5, Jared.
Oh boy. All right.
Hit me.
All right. Here we go. How did Captain Marvel die?
She died from the explosion.
Now this is where Jonathan is tricked up because he's an MCU and not a comic book guy.
Wait. Time out. One more try. I'll say that he was killed by Carol Danvers.
So he did change the sex, so that was good because Captain Marvel was a dude.
Yeah.
And he had cancer caused by exposure to nerve gas.
Never would have guessed that.
Yes, that was
close.
So back
Close.
when this game came out, Captain Marvel, he died in a special Marvel graphic novel in the 70s or 80s, I'm sorry. And so it was kind of nobody really read that. Nobody could have foreseen, where we are today.
I do remember when Carol Danvers was Miss Marvel. I thought that she was a tolerable character at that point in time.
Oh yeah,
So,
she was
much
great.
more than tolerable. I mean, it was actually a cool character. But
Yeah, she was fun. All right, Joe.
All right, let's go with a 3.
3. How did Bucky die? This is for the comic books. How did Bucky die?
No hints.
Did he die in the plane crash?
Yeah, the bomb exploded on the plane. The bomb exploded on the plane. So I'll give it.
Same plane that went down into the ocean.
Yeah. So stopping a remote control bomb carrying plane. Very good. All right. So Joe, you got 3. Jonathan and Darrin, you got 3. So Darrin, what number?
I'm actually gonna go lower. I'm gonna go to 1.
We're going to a 1. There's some skill involved in this, some plotting.
Yeah.
Which X-Man controls the weather?
the worst one.
No, wait. Storm. Yeah.
Storm, very good. All right,
That was
Grandpa
far
Beard.
Huh?
Going for a 5 again. Okay, Jonathan.
Yep, I'm going all in. All in.
All right, this is the answer will be a city and state. Okay. Where is Deathlock from?
It has to be a city and state.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Can you give me one hint and can I ask if it's in America?
It's in America. There you go.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Well, that narrows it down a bit.
It's not Kazakhstan or something.
Let's go with Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Detroit, Michigan.
Kind of close.
Good guess, though, John. Yeah.
Everyone knew that one, but
no, not me.
Nobody knew that one. Who's Deathlock? All right.
I mean, I do know that he's the half robot cyborg-esque guy, and he was an agent.
He was.
Where's he at? Why is he not in the MCU? We need like a RoboCop in the MCU.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Well, I don't know. So the ABC kind of ruined him on that TV show they made a while back. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, he definitely started off good, and then he just. All right, Joseph Martin.
Let's go 5.
Ooh.
I just realized all of us have the same initials too, except for Darrin. Gosh, that guy.
Whoa.
All you M6Pers with J names.
All right, you said a 5?
Yep. Let's go 5.
All right. Easy one. Easy one. What is the Vanisher's real name?
The Vanishers.
Wow.
I'm an X-Men expert, and I did not know this.
Let's go with Peter Comstock.
Telford Porter.
Duh.
Duh.
Jonathan,
right.
you got a baby name yet? So,
All right,
that
Mr.
works
Michael.
both ways. Like boy and girl.
We're gonna go 2.
2. All right. And keep that lead. Where was Spider-Man 2099 born? We need a city. Where was Spider-Man 2099 born?
I really wish I could just ask one question to the audience right now. I can't.
Oh, is this live?
Yeah. We're live right now.
Gonna start the timer.
No. Right offhand, I don't have a good guess.
Okay.
Can I steal for half a point?
I know what you're gonna do. Go ahead.
Los Angeles.
New York City.
Yeah, wow.
I was gonna
That
be
seems
wrong.
so easy.
Yeah.
But it's not.
New York City. All right, Jonathan.
That's to be a little. I'm going to be a little bit more conservative and go 4.
How strong is Spider-Man?
What?
Very strong.
Yeah. What kind of question is that?
I know.
So
I think-
strong.
Do you
What
want
are
to
they
get
looking for
Hold
here?
on, is that a real question?
It is. I think it's very subjective. So, new question. Okay.
Oh,
That was a 4.
The question, the answer is he has the proportionate strength of a spider.
Duh.
All right, here's a better one.
the fact that you're laughing.
I'm just a happy person. What is the name of Sentry's staff? Sentry was a Avengers character.
Oh, yeah. Blonde hair.
No.
Superman ripoff. I'm
Nope.
just kidding.
This is a different Sentry. There was a different Sentry in the 90s.
Oh, I have no idea. Well, I'll throw a random name out there and call it MODOK. I don't know.
All
Caroline.
right, so here's the scores. Jonathan May, you have 0. Joe, you have 3, and I have 4.
Well,
All right, let's go.
Joe still has another question.
Okay, until now, that's the score.
He's projecting right now.
Just a little update
no,
from
just
the
back the scores.
D-Meister.
I'm very thorough.
All right, I'm proving him wrong. 5. Go 5.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna be here forever. All right. In what issue did Mr. Fantastic marry the Invisible Woman?
Oh, geez. Yeah. I'm not doing 5s or 4s anymore.
Okay, so this came out 2003. That
Check him out.
I'm gonna say 275.
Fantastic Four Annual 1965.
Oh man, that was early then. 1965.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
Got married off early. She found her a good man, and
How old was she at that time? Like,
she was probably Invisible Girl, not Invisible Woman. All right. Darrin.
3.
3. What country, we've had this question before. What country is Silver Sable from? What country is Silver
I know,
Sable?
I can't think of
Never want dead air.
Russia.
can we steal?
No,
Can we try to
No.
steal?
no.
You can say it, but you won't get the points.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna say
They
Italy.
only let me try because they knew I wouldn't get it.
Thymcaria.
Mm,
Wait, what?
Simcaria.
I was
I'm gonna go.
way off.
Good, Jonathan. I think that's a wise choice, man. All right. Who considers himself the master of illusion?
That would be Mysterio.
There we go. There we
How much
go.
was that?
2.
2 on the
Mr.
board,
May
baby.
is on the board.
All right, I'm gonna go 3.
3. We might have a game now, guys. In what? Oh, maybe not. In what issue? In what issue did the Red Skull make his first appearance?
You gotta guess. You gotta guess.
From the guy who didn't guess anything for Spider-Man, his hometown.
Um,
I said Los Angeles, but it was the 29-9. It wasn't Peter Parker,
Right.
so
Miguel
that
O'Hara.
makes it better.
I was gonna guess Madrid, Spain.
yeah. So, oh shoot, I don't even know. I guess Captain America #1.
You got it. You got it.
You gotta guess.
Very good. All right,
Wait, how much
everybody's
was
on the board.
1, 2.
He had that was 3.
Oh, wow, Joe's moving up.
All right, Darren.
3.
3. Whose powers did Rogue absorb to give her flight?
Ms. Marvel or Captain Marvel.
Ms. Marvel, yeah. Very good.
Mm.
3 points.
See, I
Great
knew
X-Men
that one.
episode.
But for me, I feel like to get a 3, I have to get lucky. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
stay
you do. You do. You do.
I'm just gonna stay with 2s.
All right, 2. All right. Remember when this was made. Okay. What is Quasar's main weapon? Quasar was a popular character, had his own series in the 90s.
I don't know, Jared. Telekinesis.
I know, it's tough, man. He had quantum bands.
Mm.
Quantum bands. He's like, bang, bang. All right. Joe Martin.
Let's go another 3.
3. All right. What was the Black Widow before she became an Avenger?
She Russian spy.
Russian spy, word for word. Very good. 3 points for Joe. Jonathan got Quasar's weapon. Oh, what would the Vanisher think of that? Yeah.
That's what.
All right. All right, Darren.
3.
3. What are Venom and Carnage's weaknesses? They have 2.
Ultrasonic sounds, vibration, etc. That's like loud bangs on bells and stuff and things like that. Yeah. Was that?
Yeah.
Wait. And
Yes. Okay, there we go. We got like 30 answers there.
All
That
right.
was great, Darren. All right, Jonathan, 3.
Those last 2 3s I knew, but this one I won't.
How does Tony Stark make his millions?
Oh, weapons arms dealer.
Yeah, all kinds of inventor, industrialist, president, CEO, Stark Industries, all kinds of stuff.
Playboy philanthropist.
There we go. So Jonathan got 3 for that one.
Means I
Joe?
got 5 total.
Let's try 4.
Okay, he's
5,
moving on
9
up.
to 10.
All right, what is Cable's full name? What is Cable's full name?
Okay, this is gonna be wrong, but Nathaniel Essex Summers.
Close. Nathaniel Christopher Dayspring Summers.
Ah,
Hmm.
Oh, good
They've
guess,
since
man.
added other stuff. I think Ascani son is in there and all kinds of stuff. My cousin named his son after that. After Cable, he named him Nathan.
wow.
All right, Darren, what is the score for everyone?
5. Jonathan May. Joe Martin is at 9. I'm at 10. It's a very close game.
Okay, we're going to 15. It's your turn.
Yeah, I'll go 5.
You going 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Ah,
Oh, no.
Darren. What is the death camp number tattooed on Magneto's arm?
That's a tough one.
You think?
You can just go on. To
Wait, how many digits is a death camp number?
It's 6, but you're not gonna get it right. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
I'm out.
It's 214782.
Oh my gosh.
I think you were probably just been off by 1.
I was so close, Jared. I just didn't want to say it.
All right, Jonathan, you gonna stick with 3? Here we
Yeah.
go.
Stay
How
away from
does
5.
Doctor Strange travel without his body leaving his home?
Astral plane.
Yep, astral projection. There you go, sir.
Was that a 3? Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. Wow.
I'm back.
8.
All right.
Creeping
Let's
back
do,
up.
let's do a 2.
2. All right. We've got, who is the half vampire hero who hunts vampires?
Come on.
Joe, are you messing with us?
Blade.
Guys, come
You
on.
got it.
I want to go to bed sometime. All right, he's correct. I was like, oh, Joe, you're going to lose some credibility if you don't know who that is. I mean, you already didn't know Vanisher's real name.
I was
That
about
knocked
to
you
say
down.
Morbius to throw him off a bit.
Yeah.
It's not
I was
Morbius.
about to say it's Morbid time.
All right, Darrin, you got 10 points, bro.
All right. Well, since you're tired, I'm going to go with a 1.
No. Who is Thor's foster brother?
Loki.
Loki.
Boom. All
But
right.
I don't know
the
that
scores
Loki was
are-
ever fostered. I think he was just adopted. I don't think Loki was ever in foster care.
Hey, you take it up with the people that made those cards.
We
not
don't
me.
know yet. Like they haven't talked about that story.
Not. All right, Jonathan's got 3. Who is Omega Red obsessed with killing?
Wolverine.
Wolverine. Jonathan is back in the game. 3 points for that.
So I'm
Oh,
13
we're all
now,
tied.
right?
Look,
No,
everybody
no.
has 11 now. Everybody has 11.
11? So 1 from 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. 11.
Wow. Okay.
No.
Joe, you going to take it home or are we going to do another round?
Okay, let's do it. 4.
Oh, no.
See if I can finish this off.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to pick from the middle here. Ooh, okay. What was the downfall of Karen Page? This is definitely a Darrin question because
Yeah, I know. It's comics. Oh, man.
what was the downfall of Karen Page?
Gambling.
Heroin addiction.
Man.
Heroin addiction. All right, Darrin.
It'll get you.
Oh, I'm going to go. Yeah, the 4.
4. All right. What does Nightcrawler's teleportation smell like?
Sulfur.
That was.
That 15?
Yeah,
Okay.
I won my first M6P trivia. You guys were both,
Whoa,
all of you
whoa,
were here
whoa.
for it.
Hold
Oh,
on, Darrin.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a rebuttal. I just jinxed it.
I mean, everybody has to have the same amount of turns, bro.
I get it. No, I was so excited. I was just finally, I got one right at the end.
So I have to go for a 4 to try to win.
4 or 5,
Nice.
and you could sweep me.
Give me a
Oh.
4.
4? Okay. All right. Gonna pick from the middle here. No cheating. All right. Which white-haired heroine mercenary is a master of weaponry and hand-to-hand combat? Can we read it again?
Yeah.
Okay. Which white-haired heroine mercenary is a master of weaponry and hand-to-hand combat?
Silver Sable.
Silver Sable.
Oh.
Guys, this is intense.
I can't
my
believe I got
goodness.
that right.
Joe,
No,
you
that's
have
a
to
guess,
get
man.
it right.
I guess a 4. I mean, yeah.
Let's keep going.
Okay. All right. What feature allows Spider-Man 2099 to climb walls as well as cut his opponents? What feature allows Spider-Man 2099 to climb walls as well as cut his opponents?
Does he have some sort of attached blades onto his that grows out of his arms?
He has talons on his fingers and toes.
That's not really the same.
All right.
Yeah.
Close. I mean, that was your first time, dude. Your first time, and you got 11 points. That's pretty darn good.
This is an intense match. Like this feels epic here. I'm glad to be a part of this right now.
Yeah. So, Jared, I was actually gonna because I wasn't sure at first either. The talons, that I get it, but I was gonna say big claws. I didn't know he had the. Would that have been accepted?
Probably big claws because it was hands. Because Joe said a different part.
I didn't know that right offhand either. I was using context clues.
I appreciated that Joe said that was not the same. So I thank you for me not having to
dispute it. Like, no, this is a travesty right now.
Yeah. Just sign right off.
A recount.
Okay, so Darrin and Jonathan, I have the tiebreaker question. Okay. And it's not in these cards. It's been a question I've been wanting to ask for a while, but didn't know where to use it. So now I can.
All right. Wow.
Which means I won't know it.
All right. So it's whoever, I guess whoever raises their hand first and then has an answer after I call on them. So it's not raise your hand and then think about it. And don't raise your hand and yell it. Raise your hand, I'll call on you, and you say it, okay?
Fair enough.
All right. This MCU, this MCU male actor appeared in Tina Turner's video for What's Love Got to Do with It in 1984.
Oh, gosh.
We've got a guy. We've got 1984.
Hey, you're supposed to call on us, right?
Yes, Darrin.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Close.
That was good. That was good. That was 1993. He played Ike. That was good. John, did you have a different answer?
Yeah, I'm just going to go out. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say Josh Brolin.
Nope, not Josh Brolin. He is an actor.
I want to guess.
Well, but we got a tie break for them.
Hold on.
You know what I mean, Joe? You could text me
to answer another question.
Because they got to break the tie. You could text me privately if you want. Jonathan.
RDJ.
No. All right, I'll give you another hint. All right, this actor was in Secret Invasion's episode today. Jonathan.
Sam Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. He is.
I was going to say that first. I thought it was Jimmy.
Yeah, he was in the What's Love Got to Do with It video. She's walking down the sidewalk and he's dressed like this pimp and he is on the side of a fence and he just like looks down. It was wild. Congratulations, Jonathan. Darrin, you did really good though, man. You did really good.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
You did. And the thing is, you look great in that shirt. That's awesome. I love it.
A little bit of an Easter egg, huh?
To the unfilmed episode that's been in queue for like a year.
Featuring Joe Martin.
Yes, Joe will be a part of it.
One day.
We'll make it someday.
In 2099.
Like right.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everybody. We hope you enjoyed some Marvel trivia and some Secret Invasion. Until next time, make yours the M6P.